What's going on, everybody? You already know who it is. It's your boy, that guy, the Janude here. And I wanted to talk about a topic that a lot of people are getting confused with, and that is what it means to be an aimer or quote unquote aimer in a game, especially playing on like mouse and keyboard. I've been in a couple of streams and I've been listening what it means to be, an aimer. You got the people that legit like grind out coeffects or aim labs for like 4 hours a day, and they consider themselves to be an aimer, which I put that in quotation marks. Grinding out coeffects and grinding out aim labs to get like the highest rank, cool. Like, you can do that. That's cool. I'm gonna tell you what I think personally, what it means to me to be an aimer. It's just a good FPS player. Those skills that you got and aim labs and coeffects will not, some of it will, but most of it will not transfer over to actually playing like Call of Duty or playing like CSGO or Valorant or Rainbow Six, like those type of games. It just, you grinding one skill set does not help out all the other skill sets when it comes to playing multiplayer games. That's why someone could grind out, like I said, aim labs for hours and hours on end, but it doesn't correlate over to like Call of Duty, for example, right? It doesn't help you with your tracking when you're actually in game. You're like, what's going on? Because you actually have to control recoil. There's actually like some mechanics in the game. You actually move around. You're not still when you're aiming. And people are wondering why they're not doing good. No, that's why, because you have to learn the basic fundamentals of Call of Duty, which is, it's not hard. But it just does, it takes time. I would say like I don't personally use like coeffects or like aim labs just because I just aim train in game, and I want to focus on other skill sets. Like in this game, I'm not focusing on my aim. I'm more focusing on my positioning and just reading the mini map and not over peeking. And it was working out sometimes, and sometimes it didn't work out. That's like the purpose of like getting better. But when it comes to you and your aim and your like journey, like the biggest thing I will say is just playing the game that you want to grind, playing the game that you want to grind, and in the long term you'll learn a lot of things, but you just can't like mindlessly play it. Like, aim is just such a small aspect, and yes, it does help out, and you have to be locked in when you're playing on mouse and keyboard, but there's certain aspects that you have to consider. Like, you got really fast decision making. Like, I know a lot of people come to me and say, I always choose the wrong target. Well, if you know that, go in and get yourself into those same situations, which is not that hard to do in multiplayer, and try to pick the right target, like to shoot the highest threat. And then over time you'll identify that and how to get better at it. Or if you're struggling with taking out multiple enemies, just keep trying to take out multiple enemies, and that kind of go along with like isolating like which one's the biggest threat. Your positioning also comes down to a huge deal. And like, I want to just say that so many people playing on mouse and keyboard, it's not about the flashy aim. It's not about like the flashy flicks, which, okay, yes, that is cool, but what's more impressive, the flashy flicks or the how he got out of this situation, or how he was able to deal with multiple enemies? Is that more impressive than the flashy flicks, or how he was able to outplay this scenario, right? There's multiple things that you can do, and it definitely comes down to you as an individual getting better at said game that you are grinding out. Don't try to go for flashy flicks. Don't try to go for crazy clips, like, you know what I mean? Because like, anybody could farm crazy clips all day. I could farm crazy clips, just literally going for clips and shooting people in the back or trying to shoot multiple people on my screen. Eventually it's going to happen, and it's just it skews, and it's not an actual representation of like how good of a player you actually are, because you're just uploading your best clips. So you grind for like 2-3 hours a day and you hit 6-7 clips, well, there you go. There's a YouTube video right there and people are going to think like, oh my God, this guy's aim is absolutely cracked. But in actuality, he really isn't that good of a player. He's just grinding clips, you know, or people that reverse boost to get like clips and stuff on mouse and keyboard. Like, kudos to you. It looks really entertaining, but it's not a actual representation of how your game is going. That's why I like watching live streams, because people that do that, you can't just go for that, right? You see how they actually play. You see what's going on in their head, what type of lobbies they get in, and all those good things. It's not just one simple, you know, YouTube clip highlight reel. Or, you know, the same could be said about people that go for gameplays on Call of Duty. Like, it takes a while, but those people that go for gameplays, you know, there's still a skill involved in that. And don't get me wrong, there's a skill involved with going for clips, but it's not an accurate representation of how good of a player you are, if that makes sense, right? So I just want to say, like, if you're in your aim journey and you're feeling just discouraged that like my clips aren't looking like this guy's clips, or how come his aim looks way more snappier than mine, everybody is on their different journey, and that's not really an accurate representation. Like, this game that I'm playing in right now in the background, this is more of an accurate representation of how TDM goes for me. And, you know, I could highlight a couple of good clips in here, but like I said, I was focusing on one thing, and just focusing on, like I said, my positioning and everything, and not getting caught off guard. But let me know down in the comment section below what you guys think. If you, like I said, if you're feeling discouraged and you feel like, you know, your clips aren't hitting like other people's clips are, your aim isn't like other people's, just remember, like, also people frame cut in this game. Like, I can tell when someone's frame cutting. It's not that hard, but to the untrained eye and someone who doesn't edit, they probably think like, oh, this guy is absolutely cracked aim, when really he's just cutting the frames. There's a lot of manipulation going on here in the aiming community, and it's really discouraging for the FPS community in general. But like I said, I want to hear your guys' thoughts down below. What do you think overall makes a good FPS player, other than just like crazy clips? Like, we can bring Shroud up all day, and that guy, he's cracked because he played at a professional level and he knows what's going on. As always, guys, the video is coming to an end. Say bye, Samuel. Peace.